The bow itself, in tune or out of tune, the bow itself is inherently consistent. It pulls back, it lets go, it cycles exactly the same with zero variation. We are the variation.
On the road to journey of becoming a 30X shooter. Day 55. As promised, the one and only George Ryals is here with us today, and it is not an official George Ryals lesson without breakfast.
Always breakfast.
So we're gonna hit up breakfast, and then we're gonna hit up the vlog stick in the range a little bit later.
All right, let's see. Does 20 hit? Oh, it hit the paper.
We have to give these people some value today.
Okay.
I am a little self-conscious that I'm not providing enough value for our stupendous vlog watchers. Wow, look, 3X's.
Well,
I'm shooting pretty good.
And it looks like you're sighted in right there instead of there.
Yeah. This is kind of ruining a surprise for the vlog watchers, but I'm keeping every target that I've shot, and I have a good pile of them over here. And
Is some lucky viewer going to get the target archive from the road to journey of 30X?
I was going to lay them all out on the floor and like look at them over time.
And walk through.
You know
that's
how
a
you
great
can,
way. And
George,
write your notes for like, here's what I'm fixing and worrying about and fixing and working on.
You know how like you can read palms?
Uh-huh.
We'll have you read my targets.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good info.
All right, so today we're gonna get some shooting in. I'm gonna have you give me a little bit of a lesson, check up, but what's the most important part, I wanna run through like a whole bunch of quick and dirty tips and tricks, things that you do that help you, things that have helped me in the past. I asked on my Instagram story last night, like questions people have for you. So we'll sit down and just do like a fast lightning round Q&A later today. So in the meantime, enjoy some of these shots.
Oh yeah. 3 shots to the middle. I failed. It should be 1 shot. Now for all of you at home watching, do what I tell you to do. Don't do what I do.
That's been the motto of this entire thing. Oh yeah. Already a quick hot take from George. How do you feel about this D-loop? I know you're a torqueless guy, but how do you feel about this D-loop?
Let me see. What do you got going on there that's different?
The tie. Get those glasses out, old man.
So you have a knot underneath your arrow, and then you just have a
hitch.
Standard D-loop.
That's a Gaius Carter special clove hitch.
Looks like a regular D-loop knot to me. What am I missing?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It's fine.
His theory is that it's a more square knot for the knock. It's less angly.
I really don't think that this is drastically superior to the other one, but it also works.
I think it looks cool too.
But torqueless D-loops is where it's at. You know this. Popping some good shots here, Kolby. Maybe you should just sit back and watch.
All right, so I was just talking to George, and we're like, let's just turn the vlog stick on because this is great stuff. So I was telling George how throughout this entire journey, I've kind of gone full circle where I started with my draw length way too short, like lesson 1 with you, which you guys saw on like day 6 or something.
Draw length way too short. Yeah.
And so I was too short, and now I've gone through where it lengthened it out, it was a little too long, and I've shortened it up, I don't know, at least maybe a 1/4 inch over the last month. But a 1/16 just here and there, and it's tightened up, and I'm super, super solid now. And that transition to talking about peep height.
And you also did that with your peep.
Yes.
Like you were adjusting your peep height. So it's best to do this without any weight on your bars. And the reason that you do it without any weight on the bars is so you can see the uncorrected stability of the bow. So when you make a change, you can see the immediate effect of the change. So it's easier to find the right draw length if you start off with the draw length a little bit on the long side, just a little. It feels like a little bit of a stretch, and shoot that several days and just to get used to it, get to the point where you're shooting really well with it and everything's going well. But you're noticing the sight movement. And when the draw length is long, it's going to be loose, but the movement is slower and more predictable. You know where it is, you know where it's going. Nothing happens very fast, but it never really closes in. It's just kind of big.
That was happening to me where the hold was steady. I was happy, but it was almost, how I would describe it is, it was almost hard to control.
Right.
Like I felt like I had no actual control over my shot.
Yeah, and the biomechanics of that is your levers are all completely extended, so you don't have full muscle control over that. It's like balancing a stick on your palm, right? It just goes and you just follow it.
Right.
But as you shorten the draw, you engage a little bit more of the stabilizer muscles. Like if your elbow is completely locked out, the only thing that holds it steady is this shoulder muscle, and that works in a circle. So your aim and stability will be circular. But then if you just unlock this elbow, you get your bis and tris, and it makes it easier to hold your fist steady in space. So by shortening the draw just a 1/4 inch, you can see, or even an 1/8, you can see an immediate change in the stability of the bow. So you can see the scope of movement and you can see the quality of movement. Is it rigid, hard, or is it loose and smooth? And you want to find that balancing point in between rigid and hard and jerky and loose and smooth, but it's not quite small enough. So when you optimize that down, now there's a magic secret in that knowledge that you have now. Longer is loose and smooth. Shorter is tight and hard with a jerky motion. If your draw length is way too short, you may notice very hard stability on the target, and you'll get the feeling that the pin jerks off the center just in time for the release to fire. And you're like,
yeah,
right? That's a signal of short draw length. Or if anything hurts after you get done shooting, if anything hurts when you get done shooting your bow, chances are the fit isn't correct. Okay. Now, your peep sight height, if it's tall, it's loose because your peep sight's loose. So this hand is slightly unstable, right? You notice that watching your release up close, it's kind of unstable. And then the lower your peep sight gets, the more touch that you get with your face so that your hand can be stable. As you move your sight down the bar, your anchor point has to move down your face in order to stay, keep your view the same through the peep to the target. So that's why you have to optimize it for the distance. But you'll optimize for 20 for indoor season, and then you'll optimize at a distance for whatever outdoor distance that you're playing. But just like the draw length, when you start off with it long and then slowly walk it in so you can see the sweet spot
your
when
peep.
you get there, right? You do the same thing with your peep. You start it off a little loose and high and slowly work it down until you get it to where it's like, oh, this is like really working, right? Optimize the draw length and the peep height for the overall stability without the weight on the bars. So then when you put the weight back on, you get the extra forgiveness of holding the bow still while the arrow is leaving the bow. And then you'll have the optimal setup that's fitted to you so that you get the greatest stability at all times, even when you're nervous and you can't even feel your hands because you have one arrow left for a 900. Right? It just works.
And I've kind of been doing all of that just at a more macro scale. So over the last, I would say since Vegas, pre-Vegas, it was like, get this bow to feel good at any cost.
Right.
And my draw length pre-Vegas was too short and it was jittery and all over the place. And I would say from Vegas on, I've kind of stuck to this more long-term mindset on, all right, let's bring the draw length out, get comfortable with it, get steady with it. The weight on my stabilizers early on was really light. I didn't add any weight to them at all. And I've slowly, over time, brought the draw length back in. I've slowly brought that peep sight back down to get tighter to the face. and I've slowly, week over week, added weight to the bars, 1 or 2 ounces at a time. So over 1, 2, 3, a month and a half period of time, I've just seen my score slowly progress up, and everything is kind of coming together. All right. As great value comes up, we'll film it. We're going to shoot some, and then we're going to do the quick and dirty hot takes.
Okay.
All right. Wow. It took us like 2 hours to shoot a game.
If you're shooting by yourself, you ought to be able to do it in about an hour and 20 minutes.
What I have been doing is putting 2 targets on,
And go.
6 arrow ends, and just ripping.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This segment, I guess will kind of replace mail time segment. Hot take. Advice for keeping the scope housing centered through the shot execution.
I actually do not center the scope on the peep. I just skip that step altogether. I center the peep on the target because we're shooting at the target. Your dot is in the middle of the scope. So if you center the peep with the target and then put the dot in the middle of the target, the scope automatically aligns whether if you can see the outer edges of it or not.
That's a hot take, apparently. Yeah, that's a good one. How good are tension releases for teaching form?
So tension releases are fantastic. And I use those either teaching a brand new shooter, like somebody comes to me and says, I want to be a target shooter and I want to be the best.
So if a 12-year-old soon-to-be prodigy walks up and says, I want to be the best, you put a tension release in their hands first thing.
A lot of times I'll put a tension release in their hands first thing.
I don't even know your answer to this one. How many arrows post replacing your strings do you shoot before you consider the strings broken in?
So I don't necessarily consider strings broken in, but there's a moment right after they come off the string jig that there's tension variances throughout the string because of the way that they're manufactured and all. And a lot of times I'll just put my bow in a draw board and pull it back to full draw and let the bow sit there overnight. Then I'll set the timing and all of that. And after that, it's usually pretty dang good. I replace my strings every year, whether if they need it or not, or any time that they show wear, or if I just want a new color.
Do you, when I was first starting out, I kind of subscribed to the whole shooting the strings in, but it's like, I throw them on my bow, I'll kind of shoot them at a short distance, a couple dozen arrows, paper tune it, make sure we're ready to rock and roll, and then I just run.
Yeah, I don't even do that. I just put them on the bow, eyeball the tune, get a quick bullet hole, and I just start shooting. And about 2 weeks later, I'll check the timing and make sure everything's okay. And then usually tiny adjustment, and I'm done paying attention to it.
Oh, this is a quick hot take. Who is more coachable, B or Kolby?
You are definitely more coachable, as you'll listen. Right.
That's Chris's style.
Yeah.
He's in kill mode all the time.
That's right. Got to go hunting.
Kill mode. This is a good last one. Came up today. Torqueless D-loop or clove hitch D-loop?
I like torqueless D-loop. They never wear out. They never break. And they always give you that little bit of down pressure that keeps the arrow engaged with the blade all the way through. I find that it's way more consistent. By hand or in a machine.
Torqueless guy.
Yeah.
I'm on the Gaius Carter clove hitch train.
Clove hitch.
The Gaius
hitch,
Carter gravy train.
Yeah. If Gaius Carter does it, you know it's good.
All right. And we will close out day 55. The specific question Austin wanted us to answer, because one of you stupendous vlog watchers, I call them my
stupendous vlog
watchers, is love to see tips, tutorials on things you've learned over the years to improve your shooting. What's helped you improve your shots, nerves, things you've learned along the way and become a competitive archer. I want to hear your laundry list, and then I have my unsexy answer as well.
All right. First thing, comparison is the fastest road to disappointment, right? All of your goals need to be self-actualized. It's based on what you did yesterday. What do you want to do today? If you try to be a little bit better each day, you will steadily progress. If you're comparing yourself to Schlosser or Fullerton or any of them, so every game you shoot is a punch in the mouth because it's either a 30X or it's trash.
So comparison is a recipe for failure.
Absolutely. And when you're going to try to go do something hard, don't take time to decide whether if you can or can't do it. Just do it. Just start.
Yeah. So
and make adjustments.
That's actually a really good one. Just start one.
Yeah, just start.
Just start. What about like tuning? People love tuning. What are your like must tune items?
Must tune. Here's my procedure. I just got a brand new bow in the mail. I slap my rest on. I put my stabilizer parts on. I put my peep in the string. I bolt my sight. I eyeball the knocking point and I eyeball the arrow rest. I walk to the paper and I shoot it through the paper. Yes, it shoots a bullet hole. That just says the arrow is flying straight through the bow. I'll shoot it for a month like that. I may or may not do anything else because if I'm shooting great scores with it, it holds well, everything is good working with me, then I won't touch it. I'll just keep shooting. The current bow I have now, it is currently sitting in its out of the box setup right now, and I've shot 2 tournaments with it, right? So occasionally if I feel like, well, there's more, or the bow feels a little unsteady, I'll start working on the fit. I'll start working on the peep height. I'll start working on the overall holding weight. I will shoot it without stabilizer weight so I could actually see the uncorrected problems that I'm causing in the bow, because the bow itself, in tune or out of tune, the bow itself is inherently consistent. It pulls back, it lets go, it cycles exactly the same with 0 variation. We are the variation. So I spend more time working on me and my consistency than I do trying to find that magic tune. Because imagine, everybody's looking for the magic setup.
Secret sauce.
The secrets. Yeah. Like I look at top pros bows just to see how they have them set up, just out of curiosity. And their setups on the same model bow is so different shooter to shooter. It's an absolute example of how the tune doesn't have that big of an effect that it's actually the shooter. Because I see Schlosser has his bow all the way in one direction, Fullerton has his bow all the way in the other direction, and for me, neither one of those setups would shoot for me, but obviously it shoots great for them, right? So I find that just getting a basic bullet hole that says the bow is functioning within normal parameters, the rest is pretty well up to you. There are some things, group tuning,
creep tuning,
make sure that your timing is perfect and dialed for you.
If you're shooting multiple distances.
Dudley walk back. And Dudley walk back is only 2 distances. The walk back with multiple arrows, you don't need to do that unless you're a recurve shooter, right? So torque tuning, creep tuning,
about that one.
Walk back, and shooting a hole through the paper. That's pretty much everything you can do to make that bow forgiving, shootable, and it will make sure that the bow is operating within normal parameters and there's nothing weird happening. Right.
Yeah, those are mine too. And I think my unsexy answer that I left with a cliffhanger yesterday, I kind of told them you're not going to like my answer because it's basically paper tune, creep tune for 20 meters. That's all I do.
Yeah.
If I'm shooting 50 meters outdoor, I'll torque tune, I'll do walk back, which doesn't really matter if you're shooting one distance, but I'll do all that. And then I read books. So I know when I was really going through the whole journey the first time and becoming a 30X shooter back in the day, it was shoot a lot of arrows, tune the bow, and then like figure out the mental game. How am I going to get better? What's holding me back? And so whether it's in archery, I've read a lot of golf books. If it's in business, I read a lot of business books. This is like, when I started a business, I didn't know what a balance sheet was. So this is a 700-page accounting for dummies book.
Yeah.
which was a crash
And
course.
that's impressive because not only do you have to learn the archery industry and how that works, but you also have to learn how business works too.
So I'm curious, actually.
This one right here.
What is that one?
And this one right here. You remember that time when you had just graduated from high school, or maybe you were in the 11th grade, you stayed at the house for an extended period with Charlie, and you read like everything on my archery shelf.
Because you have a whole library.
I had a whole shelf. Every archery book that's any good, I got it on my shelf.
So I have some like
And
legacy
these are some
titles.
fantastic ones.
And like I read some golf books. Like there was a book called Body Mind Mastery or something like that. And it was
Body Mind Mastery.
The whole
fantastic.
psyche behind the link between like your thoughts and your physical body.
Yeah, it's how your mental game affects the tension within your body.
Yeah, we got this is a classic.
I used
Larry
this
Wise.
Book. I used this book.
Shout out Larry Wise.
Yeah. And Larry Wise's book, because he was the OG back in the 70s, you know, he killed, won everything. He's an actual archery pro turned archery coach, so he knows what he's doing. And Tuning Your Compound Bow by Emery Loisel.
That's my unsexy answer because nobody likes reading. So anyway, that's day 55.